EGM Network.
Hey, and good morning to another episode of Uplifting the Uplifters, where every month we bring you another uplifter. And this morning is no different. We have the amazing executive director from the Hope for Family Center, Mrs. Marty Mercado. Good morning, and thanks for being here, Miss Marty.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And before we get to our amazing guests, we have to get to the people who pay the bills in the room. We got Adam Ogilvy from Orc Services. Morning, Adam.
Good morning. Paying for the lights, as you can see.
Yes, sir.
Nice
Yes,
and
sir.
bright.
Yeah, ain't nothing free here at EGM. Pedro Burnaby, local realtor for all your commercial and residential needs. Good morning, Pedro.
Good morning, Mike.
All right, guys, before we get to Miss Marty, what's new in the world of restoration over there, Adam?
World of Restoration, dealing with difficult insurance companies every single day. If you have a difficult problem at your house and they deny your claim, which they're denying 50% of claims these days, but they're not going to tell you that. But we experience it, so give us a call there. But we have just completed our Thanksgiving Turkey Bowl event where we've partnered with Team Success, and we have given away 175 meals to feed families for Thanksgiving
Awesome.
at our event. So
And what year was that? This was your 7th annual, correct?
Oh, 7th annual.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy, right? It's just like every year we're doing it, and it's growing. It's
Yeah.
growing, and definitely there's a need in our community for it. But, Pedro, man, what's happening with you, man?
Yeah, selling houses, Pedro?
Oh man, listen, if you ever want to invest on a second home or fix and flips, looking for any commercial space, let me know. I'll be there to help you along the way.
Awesome.
Everything that I know that right now what we're doing is our corporate filling out the paperwork. So a percentage of every sale will go to Team Success Enterprises.
Awesome.
I'll
So
tell you what,
Good
this is
stuff.
the hardest working realtor you're going to find, man. You can't even eat lunch with this guy. He shows up for lunch, orders a drink, and pops open a laptop to do a sale while we're eating. Like, dude, you having lunch or are you working? He's like, I'm working.
Jack of all trades, master
Right,
of
so
none.
looking for a hard
That's right.
worker, this is the guy right here. Close
All
those
right.
deals.
Well, speaking of keeping them fed and keeping them housed,
Yeah.
Mrs. Marty, what's new at the Hope for Family Center? Maybe let the listeners hear, what is the Hope for Family Center?
Sure. So the Hope for Family Center is a program for families that are experiencing housing instability. And, right now, because of the way low wages are and the lack of affordable housing, we are busting at the seams as well as a very solid wait list. I was actually very surprised yesterday that one of our case managers said we only had 82 families on the wait list.
Under 100. Good job.
Yeah, and so, but then by the end of the day, she's like, well, take that back. We're almost to 100. And so I asked her, I said, what do you think has changed? And she said, well, the people, unfortunately, that were affected by the tornadoes that lost housing are coming out of the hotels. And now,
Yeah.
now they're looking, for support. So, with the way things are moving, it gets continually harder for families to survive, especially a single mom or single dad. Families that have two incomes do a little bit better, but now for most apartments, you have to make somewhere between $60,000 to $70,000 a year to even qualify
Sure.
for an apartment. And then on top of that, the average wage that we're seeing some of our residents have is as low as $27,500 annually. And the ones that are doing well, it's about $38,500. So you do the
Wow.
math on
Yeah.
that, right? So, but most of our residents that come in are working. If they don't have a job, then we help them get a job and find a job. But we have changed the way we operate a little bit. We can check the boxes and look great and say, we had a resident get a job, we had a resident do this, do that. But if you're making $15 an hour, are we really doing our job? So
Right.
we're looking deeper into how the residents are working and what they're doing. Do they have their GED? If they don't have their GED, we help them to try to get their GED. We work alongside them. We work with them. We encourage them to do this all themselves so that they have a sense of pride of their accomplishment. We never do it for them. We walk side by side with them. Then we also look at their job. If they have their GED and they're doing well, and they feel comfortable in their job, we look at their living wage. And if it's really not something that will ever be sustainable, we try to help them find the next step for the next job. So not only that, we have 68% of our shelter are children. So if you ever are needing a good smile and a happy place to play with some kids, we are the place. So our children actually do extremely well in the shelter, and they like being there. They love the reading room. If you've ever been to our facility, we have this beautiful library where it's their room, and they utilize it for homework, sometimes just for emotional decompression. It's hard to be in a shelter. It's loud. Sometimes they do their therapy in there. So our kids are doing really well. They're all going to school or some kind of daycare or after school program. And we really concentrate also on the mental health aspect of what's going on. Unfortunately, we positively refer out 100% of our residents, but there's a 3-month wait list for therapists. So,
Wow.
That's another snafu. But we're working with the family holistically to keep them together, because we know if we keep them together and they stay a unit, that they will eventually, with the right support from our community, break the cycle of homelessness.
Sure.
So, but with that going on, with the wait list, this is honestly the smallest the wait list has been in a while, and it'll change drastically. Our normal wait list is 180 families. So that's families, not people. So you can think about how many
multiply
people that
by
are.
3, 4,
Yeah.
5,
Yeah,
9 at times.
Yeah.
I think you have plans for future growth.
We
I heard.
do. Yeah, we
so-
do. Yeah. So the property next to us was donated to us by a gentleman called Wayne Hockmeyer. And the board of directors and myself talked about, what are we going to do? We saw the need. We knew we had too many people without support. And so we started a $5.5 million capital campaign. Not going to lie, made me quite nervous.
I would say so. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
green.
I'm like, sure, I can do it. No problem. So we've raised a little over $5 million. If you've driven, we're on 4th Street. If you've driven by our facility, it's started. Construction started.
Can't park a box truck there now.
Can't
Miss Marty.
park. No, there's no parking. Yeah, good luck. We actually have people that come and visit us, and I'll get a text. I have no idea where to go. It's even hard to figure out how to get in our shelter right now.
Could be a good thing, right?
Yeah. We see people aimlessly walking. But we're very excited, because when we're done with that expansion, right now we're able to serve 21 families. We'll be able to serve 41 families.
Wow, double.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we'll be able to also have 9 transitional apartments. And these apartments will be, they'll receive case management there. If you're in the shelter, you're in a room, you share a bathroom with somebody. These apartments are freestanding, meaning their own units, and they'll have a kitchen. They'll be able to cook by themselves. They'll be able to have quality, quiet family time. And those apartments will be used for people that might be waiting for a house for Habitat for Humanity. Maybe
Almost like transitional.
yeah, maybe they have like 3 or 4 evictions on their record, and then nobody's just wanting to rent to them.
And
So they can
long,
be there.
How long will they be able to stay in those apartments?
So we haven't totally defined that, but we're feeling somewhere between 1 to 2 years, depending
Oh,
on
that's awesome.
depending
That's
on the
plenty of time to
situation.
Fix your record, fix your credit,
Yeah.
fix it all, and
It's not a fast process to fix
No.
things
Absolutely.
like
No.
that. And
Well, I mean, you're thinking about 1 or 2 years plus the time they spend in the shelter. If they started fixing on their credit, then they actually have a good shot at a FHA type housing if they have the right
hey, come see
Absolutely.
Pedro.
Absolutely, and that's one of the reasons why we want to do the apartments. To be honest with you, the $5 million that we raised, we have the shelter, and we have if you've ever been to our old admin building, it was 1 hurricane away from not being there. So we're doing a new admin building, but we are low funding for the transitional housing. So we're really reaching out to the community to help us raise that. We need about, welcome to 2024. We originally budgeted 5.5, but with the way building material is,
oh yeah, everything went up.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we
I
are
know what
now
that
at
feels like.
we are at
I mean, everybody does.
Yeah, we're at $6 million now. So, but I'm confident we can do it.
I
but-
think so. You did 5 already.
What's the other mill?
I
What's
know.
in the middle? It's such a needed,
Send Lindsay
needed
back
thing.
out.
Yeah, send their development director back
Let's do
out.
it.
But I think the thing that's important is that the cheapest really way right now to live is to own your home.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so we encourage that, and we're having residents come in that their credit score is super low, and if you've met our one case manager B, she works directly with finance and teaching them financial literacy. She's really great at it. And she starts with their credit score. And our residents, by the time they get to us, I mean, we're the last resort. They don't want to come to a shelter. I always say you never grow up and say, you know, sometime in my 30s, I'm going to live in a shelter for a year. I mean, it just wasn't on their milestone plan of their life. So they come in with a lot of debt. They've been living off credit cards. They've been trying to survive. They maybe had purchased a car to live in with a super high interest rate. You know, we see car payments at $700 and $800.
Wow.
So we work with them to disengage all that credit, help them. We financially don't help them pay their credit off, but I mean, they're not having to pay rent, so they're able to punch. We encourage them to save 75% of their income while they're with us. But if they have super high credit, we also tell them we want you to pay as much of this down as possible before you leave us. So
as far as like the average age that's coming in, is it more of the younger generation or
28 to 39-ish?
Yeah. So, I mean, I know graduating from high school and stuff, they don't teach those life skills, and then they're kind of throwing in and make a couple bad decisions, and now you're going down that road, that path that's hard to turn around and get on the right road.
Yeah, you don't hear about what's Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax.
Well, the thing is that once you're in an emergency mode, you know,
Fight or
you just
flight.
start getting more credit cards, trying to get the stuff. I'm like, and then all of a sudden it's panic.
Yeah,
And
you're making tactical decisions when you need to regroup, and a place like this is definitely needed to get you on the right road.
definitely, it's exciting to win for those transitional apartments to, you know, have the time. And
we really need the community support to help us finish these. You know, the main topic, we all know the hot topic here, the hot topic all over the United States. I was very blessed to be able to go up to Washington, D.C. this summer in 108-degree weather. I will never forget that. And I was able to meet with Senator Rubio's office about the lack of affordable housing. And I mean, it's the homelessness. I specifically represented Indian River County and focused on homeless families. But there is some solutions out there, but it's not something that we're going to solve tomorrow, right? You know, so it's going to take some time. So we have to have resources, and we have to continue to move forward to try to come up with positive impacts for these families as we support them through one of the hardest times in their life.
What we also need to figure out is when you talk about resources, it's great that there's entities out there that will help with first, last, and security. But then you have the key words, fair market value.
Yeah.
And good luck on finding that. And first off, most of the help, the person has to make three times the amount of the rent. So even if you get past that hurdle, where do you find fair market value? Where would you find a 2-bedroom house or apartment or anything for $1,500 in Indian River County and a 3-bedroom for $18 and change? There's no way.
There's no way.
The days of, I mean, now you see a 3-bedroom and it's $2,500. People are like, wow, it's only 25. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's only 25. I remember the days where I was like, man.
My house payment is $1,200.
Yeah.
You know, and so, and you know, here's
That'll get you an efficiency, maybe.
Well, I mean, we have inflation's the driver, but I mean, I'm the insurance guy in the room, and I have the opinion we all pay rent to our insurance companies. They are our slumlords, in my opinion, and what's driving up rent? Insurance. When the cost of insurance is more than the mortgage, I mean, it's kind of like, hey, we're really paying rent to our insurance companies, and I mean, they have just as much fault as everything else that's happening in our world.
Well, I know I mentioned before, you know, you might have somebody qualify for a house. Let's say one of your clients is ready to go, has the money, all the stuff, and then insurance is $5,000 a year.
correct.
And then
All
the
those hidden
deal's
fees.
done completely. Yeah, that they can't afford it anymore.
Well, and gone are the days too of, you know, a lot of our families, they don't have extended family. You know, that's kind of why they got to where they are, because they haven't had support. I just had a perfect wake-up call recently. My son is getting ready to graduate college in 2 weeks. He's making a decent wage. He wants to move closer to his current job. He found a place that was in Tampa that was not in an area where I was concerned for his safety, right? And I mean, he had to make 3 times what the rent was, and it was $75,000. Now he's 22. He's not making $75,000. And then when we talked about me co-signing, I have to make 5 times,
What?
Wow.
which was like 105. I do not make 105, everybody. I'm just letting you
No?
know. Yeah.
You raise all these millions. You don't make 105
I just,
over
yeah.
there?
I'm like,
That's
wow.
it.
I mean, so we get to drag the stepfather into it. But the point being is that if he did not have support system, he would be exactly where the rest of our family's at. And even that, it requires a couple layers. You know, it's me and stepdad and possibly grandparents that are going to help with this. So we have to find a way as a community to make it to where single moms, single dads, people that are not making a livable wage are able to live comfortably and safe too, because some of the areas are, as a single mom, are not safe with their kids, and make it affordable. And I don't know what the answer is to that, but I will continue to talk about it. You know, if we look at the bill 1365 that came out, which was some of the reason why I was in D.C. too, I've gotten a lot of questions on that. What is the community doing? How are we handling it? And I attended a conference in Orlando last week, or in Florida, in Orlando for the state of Florida. And I was asked by a reporter, what was the temperature like in the room? Well, the temperature was like everybody really kind of doesn't know what to do, because we don't want to put homeless in handcuffs. Homeless is a human right. We should be home. Having a house is a human right. We should not. It would be like going into a grocery store, and if you couldn't afford to pay for groceries, we put handcuffs on you because you can't afford to buy milk at Publix. Similar. So, you know, where we're going with this 1365 is I think that it's made us look at each other as a community. And the answers are funding more programs like Hope for Families. There's several in this community that do a great job finding more impact with affordable housing, discussing insurance and how we get this down. You know, and because we should be able to, I think my first apartment that I rented, I think I paid, it was like $550 something. I mean, I'm in my 50s. It's been a minute, right? But
I'll pay a card payment nowadays.
right. And we have to get it to where families
Sure.
can survive. We're not even talking about quality of life. These families aren't even able to go on vacation or anything like that. But they-
Sure.
Well, you know, as a business owner in the community and trying to hire people to come work, I mean, we found fantastic candidates to come work for us, but we couldn't hire them because part of the job description is they have to drive a commercial vehicle. And what's preventing me from hiring them is the insurance companies aren't liking. They had 2 speeding tickets this past year, and now you can't hire them because you can't afford to pay for the insurance. And it's just this endless cycle. And yes, I am the insurance guy in the room, and I always will have a bone to pick with the insurance companies. But it's true. I couldn't hire these people that I wanted to hire.
So I think the question is, you know, what do we do?
Yeah.
And you know, so what I have a lot of people say to me, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm focusing on my little piece that I can control. And that's helping to take care of my family. And that's helping to try to get these families sustainable. But what is a community in whole? What do we do?
Sure. And on a positive note, we'll talk about some of the partnerships. And so
Absolutely.
obviously while they're at Hope, and I want to go back for a second. When you talked about the need, other than the $1 million that you need over there,
Yeah.
what else can the community do to support Hope for Families? I've seen a few times where you needed a tutor. Talk about that. What could the community do? And obviously, I love when I see what you can donate at Hope, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions. Hope is not a dumping ground for
It is not.
everything you have at home. What do you accept over there?
It is
Because
not.
I know the feeling.
I know,
I'm
yeah.
not waste management.
You get some interesting things come your way. But right now, especially because we don't have storage. If you've been there recently, we actually bought a shipping container. That
Yes,
Michael knows our shipping container well. He helped move everything in there while I was away on a family emergency. But we really need food. We could always use food. Were you there too, Pedro?
Yeah. Pedro
Okay, let me
did.
give you a shout out too.
He was on his phone for half
I
the
don't know where I was. I was somewhere.
You lucked out because
Yeah, you
there was
lucked out
there
eventually.
was a heavy picnic table involved.
That was fun.
Oh, my back. My back. Yeah. It's like, yeah,
So
guys.
was that other big thing you had outside.
But anyway, we could always use food right now. Limited clothing.
Sure.
We get
Mainly kids or for...
we could, if you have a nice suit like a female suit. We do have two males now, so we could use some male clothes.
Sure.
I'm talking like 1 or 2 pieces because we
So
did
interview for things like that.
we did do. We set up a little area in our all-purpose room for people just to come and grab things if they need them. But it got out of control.
So the last couple of minutes, I just kind of want to spend some time on another partnership. We have Thanksgiving coming up, and here at Team Success, we will once again feed the Hope for Family Center, and I'm able to do that thanks to the generosity of these amazing 2 donors over here, Adam and Pedro. So we got about another couple minutes. I just want to talk about what Thanksgiving will look like this year, and we have to start out with giving a huge shout out to your Indian River County Sheriff, Eric Flowers, for saving Thanksgiving. We had no kitchen in June. We didn't know where we were going to go to prepare these meals or where the turkeys were going to come from. And Sheriff Flowers allowed us to use their kitchen. And we want to thank Aramar, Captain Jones, Linda at the warehouse, and also, once again, Year 3 Community Church of Vero. So this is how we're going to be able to feed on Thanksgiving Day, because that's what Team Success does. If it's a holiday, we're in the trenches. We're going to feed the Hope for Family Center, Hibiscus Children's Center, the Samaritan Center. Do they all have center, or am I missing something?
Yeah,
I think you all got center somewhere in the name.
We got to center it somehow.
Yeah, there we go. Safe Space. And then all of our homeless camps. And then on Thanksgiving Day, we'll be at the Gifford Historic Museum from 11:30 to 1:30, passing out hot meals. Every year we grow a little bit more. So I want to thank all those donors and sponsors. There's so many of them, from OTG Liquidation, Complete Trust Insurance, Adam, shut up, and many others out there that have helped us with our goal of 1,500 meals. So in closing, last few minutes, first off, you're right, Miss Marty. Are we going to end homelessness tomorrow? Absolutely not. But as a community, we can all do something.
And we can work hard. And that's what we need to continue to do. And it's by people that are sitting in this room. You know, Michael, you're one of our biggest supporters, and we love you.
Thank you.
We joke that you're on our payroll.
Yes.
But, you know, he's not. Don't have it in the budget.
Sorry.
We're working at 25, Miss Marty.
But as a community, we can definitely make a difference.
Sure, definitely. And a couple other needs, and then we'll see what these guys have to say. But here at Team Success, another partnership thanks to our friends at Treasure Coast Homeless Services Council, we're able to move these families out of Hope for Families. So we're always looking for furniture donations, and what that looks like is beds up to a queen-size, dressers, tables and chairs, appliances now, because, you know, we need appliances. So if you have any of that, call us at 772-236-7770. Want to learn more about the Hope for Family Center? You can reach out to them. Their website will come up here shortly. If you got some time to volunteer, I'm sure they would love to have some more tutors over there. In-date food, some nice clothes, send that over to Hope. And the last couple of minutes here, Admin Pedro, what's your holidays looking like?
Helping Team Success.
Yes, we need 100 bikes for Christmas.
Well, I already got one.
Good
I got
job.
one donated last night.
Awesome.
So.
You know, and that's what it's about. I just want to take this time. Thank you guys so much. I have the craziest idea at times. Probably today we're bringing home a 26-foot box truck, new car payment. So we need some donations too here at Team Success. So once again, check out our website at www.teamsuccessenterprises.org. For all your mold restoration needs, go see our friends over at Orc Services. Adam will take good care of you.
Oh, absolutely.
Want to buy, sell a home, commercial or residential? Pedro Burnaby, real estate agent here over at Exit Realty. Once again, Mrs. Mercado, it's an absolute privilege to have you on.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do here in the community.
Yeah.
And as always, baby, it's I am, you are, we are. Team Success, the Mrs. Marty Mercado edition, bringing hope from the Hope for Family Center. Have a great holiday.